Today I'd like to tell you about Norse mythology. It is a very wide subject, so I've narrowed it down to include a story and a little bit about it, because there's so much to say, so I couldn't say it all. Norse mythology is, in short, the collective term for the myths and legends from Scandinavia around the year of 1000 after Christ. And you can also call the Norsemen Vikings, which is pretty much what they were. Today I will tell you about their creation myth. I'll tell you a little bit about some of the characters, because there are so many, but I'll tell you about a few. And I'll also tell you a story, a legend about the god Balder. Let me begin by telling you the short version of the creation myth. In the beginning, you had nothing. There was Niflheim on one side, which was the cold place with ice and snow. And then you had Muspelheim on the other side, which had fire and flames and just nothing except heat. And in between these places were a vast, dark abyss of nothing called Ginnungagap. And the hot place and the cold place started merging together over this dark abyss. And as the ice melted, a giant named Ymir and a cow named Alhumra emerged from this. And the giant Ymir, he drank the cow's milk and grew large and strong. He was the largest giant to ever live. And from this giant, all the creatures and all the gods and all the humans emerged. The gods created the first humans from driftwood that they found on the shore and named them Ask and Embla. Now that I've told you about the creation myth, I'd like to tell you something about a few of the characters. I've chosen to talk about Odin, which was the boss. He was the chief god, the most important one. He had one eye, and he had two ravens called Hugin and Munin, who they flew all across the world every day, roaming the lands and observing everything. And then come nightfall, they returned to Odin and told him everything they had seen. So Odin was all-knowing. He knew everything. I'd also like to talk about Balder, who was Odin's oldest and favorite son. He was very wise and warm and gentle. Everybody loved him because he was just so nice. And he was very important to this little, society. And also Loki was important to this mythology. He was a trickster. He was kind of mean. He was playing around with everybody. He was kind of vicious. He was a trickster, mischievous. Now that I've told you about some of the characters in the creation myth, I'd like to tell you a story, a legend about Balder, Odin's oldest son. He had been having bad dreams, bad nightmares about his own death. And since at this time dreams were believed to come true, so this was taken very seriously. And everybody were afraid that he was going to die. His mother, Frigg, she went out into the world and talked to every single thing she could find, including rocks and trees and the wind and diseases and all the people she met and everything, until she had made everybody swear that they would never hurt her son. So when the news of this came to the village, a celebration erupted because everybody were so happy that Balder was going to live. So everybody started throwing things at him and shooting things at him just to play around with the fact that he could be harmed. But then Loki wanted to play too and decided to change into an old woman and go and talk to Balder's mother, Frigg. And since Frigg didn't know that this was really Loki, so during the conversation she let it slip that the only single thing that she had not asked to not hurt Balder was mistletoe. So Loki went out into the forest and he found a twig of mistletoe. He made an arrow and went back into the celebration. And he found Balder's brother, the blind Hod, who also wanted to participate in this game, but he couldn't because he was blind. But Loki, he took the arrow and mistletoe and placed it on Hod's bow, helped him aim, and shot the arrow and mistletoe towards Balder. It hit him right in the chest, and he fell dead to the ground. now that I've told you about the creation myth, about some of the characters and the death of Balder, I hope that you found this interesting, and I hope that you learned something. Well, I really hope you found it interesting because I sure do. Thank you.